Like, you know, I mean, there's always more to give, and like you can always be doing better than you are. Even if you're doing your best, like you can mentally be pushing yourself harder.
All right, position, attention, move.
I'm Amber Thomson, and I am the cadet command sergeant major at Texas Tech Army ROTC Red Raider Battalion. ROTC maybe brought that out in a very like explicit way, where it's like you have to challenge yourself now. Like I have to choose to put myself in uncomfortable circumstances rather than like kind of just find myself in those circumstances. I definitely do see like challenge as like an essential part of my life now. I mean, because I see it very like blatantly, less of like this abstract idea. I've always wanted one. There's one that I've always gone back to, and Paul, the Apostle Paul, had a metaphorical thorn in his side, and he's like begging for God to take it out. He's like, Lord, like, why don't you just take this thorn away from me? Like, why is this so burdensome? He then transitions into like complaining about it, into like saying, like, I'm better for this challenge that I'm being put through because it's making me, one, humble myself, and two, like also glorify the Lord. And the Lord says to him, my grace is sufficient for you, my power works best in weakness. You are powerful, and like God is powerful in those times. My thought was I wanted to do something bigger than myself and be a part of something bigger than myself, and I did not know where to even begin with that. So applying to the Army ROTC scholarship was kind of just like a shot in the dark, but I, you know, took my chances and I got the scholarship, and it was too good to turn down, so here I am.
So do you...
I think like my perspective has definitely narrowed a little bit, or it's more just like a very real thing. It's something that is not only just like a privilege, but also like a duty. Like I do have a job, like I'm getting paid to do these things. They're paying for my school. It's something that I have to really focus in on and be disciplined in. It's not so much of like this dream of being like this super cool, like selfless person, even though that comes with like the job description. It's a little more disciplined than I had expected, but I have also learned and gained so much from it. I am a full-time student. I'm majoring in global studies, minored in Russian, and then I also am a young life leader, and I work at the Texas Tech Outdoor Pursuit Center. But honestly, like if you would have told me that I was going to be CSM or Command Sergeant Major my freshman year, I would have been like, there's no way. But I don't know, I mean, here I am. So. There's always a stigma with the military, and so some people don't expect it, but I don't think they're surprised either. And all of it kind of centers around like this idea of selfless service, and putting others before yourself, understanding that like you, even though you are holding like a level of authority, you are privileged in that. And so I think by being in ROTC, I've learned that that's not always easy, that it's sometimes hard, actually almost all the times really hard to have that selfless perspective, because a lot of people, including myself, get focused on like their career and just like the progression, but like just reminding yourself and constantly humbling yourself. And so I think overall, just being involved in leadership and being put in really uncomfortable situations has taught me to be like self-reflective in the way of like how my decisions and how my actions affect other people.